telling you, following people. Why didn't turn around?
What didn't turn around?
This right here.
Oh, shit, I don't know. It might be sideways.
I don't know what's going on. Are we sideways, y'all? Are we sideways? If we're sideways, let us know. Peace and blessings. We got Facebook. We got Instagram. We got YouTube going. Welcome to Spiritually Seeing News. I am WUNAM, a.k.a. Nikki Love, your African Indigenous Traditional Healer. Peace, Diamonds. Peace, Ken.
And I'm Brother ADINKRA.
All late, behind time. Majestic Ra, good people. Hey, Adeku, how are you? Hey, let's see who we got. We got, let me see, Aisha on Instagram. You welcome, Emerson. We got a message, y'all. The black salt worked. The black salt worked. Okay. All right. Tonight we're going to be talking about some things now. First, we're going to talk about Farrakhan, because it's been trending all day. Farrakhan been trending all day. They shut down his Facebook account. Okay, and everybody want to know, what do we spiritually see? Now, where's my other phone? That's it?
No, this is mine.
Where's the other one? So before we go into that, okay? So that's Instagram?
This Instagram.
So Instagram is switched around. We sideways.
Just turn your phone like this.
Well, we'll just turn the phone like this. See. Can we do this?
Let's see.
Can we do this? Can we scroll out? Can we scroll out? See, what's crazy, y'all, is that, okay, see, let me turn that in the middle a little bit. I don't know what's Instagram. Anyway, y'all, Amber Smith, hey, Stacy, how are you, Stacy? I miss you, cuz. Okay, so, again, welcome to Spiritually Seeing News. And we're going to talk about the trending topic of Farrakhan. Now, you know, as you all know, we are in the age where that's a lot better. Okay, Christianity is out the door. Christianity is good, you know, going away. It's disappearing in the wind, y'all. Okay, it's disappearing in the wind. With saying that, we just seen what happened over in France. We seen the, Notre Dame burning. We had the church, thing. What was that? New Zealand.
Yeah.
Where they were shooting the people in New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah.
Right. So let me turn this way a little bit. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, the guy in New Zealand, what he did was he he live streamed the killing. Like, he went live and, on Facebook and showed everybody he was killing everybody. So
right,
that's their excuse for shutting down Farrakhan.
Right. So
like it comes on right after that. Like, they're saying you want to.
No, you go ahead and tell them what they're saying, because I want to tell y'all what it is. He can tell you what they're saying.
So what Facebook is saying, for those of y'all who don't know, Facebook owns Instagram also. So this is gonna, you gotta watch what you say on Facebook and Instagram. But as you remember, they started doing that with YouTube, and what happened with YouTube, I don't know if it's because it's a means of income or whatever, but the people that own the content in YouTube started suing YouTube, so they kind of backed down off of that. So with Facebook now, so they left that alone. They start doing it with Facebook.
Right.
Facebook and Instagram, and the policy, they said that they didn't even give Farrakhan a warning that they was coming after him. They basically just shut his shit down on both, on Instagram and Facebook.
Shut him straight down.
And they said that if you attack anybody's, they going after people, anybody's beliefs, their ideology. Anybody that has an ideology where you attack people because of their sexual preference, their race, or their religion, you know what I'm saying? Then they're just gonna shut you down. Now, I don't know what Farrakhan has said in the past, 5 years as far as when it comes to race and stuff like that. But what I do know is when I do look at him talk and speak in the mosque, he got, it's almost like he got more white people than black people in the mosque. So to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that excuse right there because he hasn't really been on the rhetoric that he was on in the 90s.
Yeah, well, let me just tell y'all this. This is spiritually seeing news, okay? Spiritually seeing news. So basically, what we do for the newcomers, what we do is we see what's really going on. And there's more to it than just that. We do know that we're coming out of the Piscean Christian age into the age of spiritual awareness. So, opposed to what they're just saying, what Brother Dinker was just saying, there's so much more to this than just the fact that they want to shut Farrakhan down and just stop all this hate speech and all this that's going on. If you really look at it, there's a lot that's going on in reference to the Christian age. People are coming out of the churches. People are flying and running out of the churches, family. People are not trying to hear no more religious stuff anymore. So spiritually seeing, I'm going to say what I see spiritually is pretty much that this has more to do with the fact that we are coming out of the Christian age, and whether you be a Muslim, Christian, whatever you want to call yourself, a Jehovah Witness, a Jew, you know what I mean? All of that is fading away. You know what I mean? It's fading, y'all. Hey, Candy Rain. Hey, Jaleesa. So we're saying that it's more to that. Or would they just shut them down? No more hate speech. No more. No, 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 no. Let's tap into it spiritually and see. We see that it has a lot to do with all that has to fade away. Them higher beings been saying, y'all, it's time. It's time.
And one of the things as you remember, those of y'all who don't know, as y'all remember, they did go after the white supremacists first. They did go after. They started trying to target these white supremacist groups. Then they went after Alex Jones. So they're trying to throw him in the same category as Alex Jones and all of them. And of course, some people say like Michelle Laurent says that it's not consistent though. She says because I only see them shutting down, going after the blacks and shutting them down. But prior to shutting them down, from what I seen, I don't know. They probably, was targeted blacks first. I don't know, but what I did see was because they promoted it all over the news is they was going after Alex Jones and these skinhead groups and stuff like that. So I don't know. I really don't keep up with that, but as people in the black community have been saying for about 10 years that we need to create our own websites and venues like that anyway.
Well, Michelle Levin, I don't know if they're just going after the black ones. I don't know about that. I don't know. I just know that, at the end of the day, you got to remember, the only time I seen the most Caucasians in church was when 9/11 happened, okay? Now, unless you're in the South, you'll see a lot more Caucasians in the church in the South, but up north, you didn't see a lot of Caucasians in the church. So we're saying that, black people are the Bible of the goddamn, the Bible. Down here in the South, there's churches on every doggone corner. You understand? And they're black churches, okay? So you're talking about if it appears to be that they're shutting down black churches, you got to remember the majority of the Christians are the black people, okay? So trust me, this is more than what you're seeing. This is, again, we're tapping in spiritually. We call it spiritually seeing news because we like to spiritually see what is going on behind the scenes. And behind the scenes, they have to get away from the Christian age because of the next topic we're going to talk about, which is the solar flashes, okay? But before we do that, we're going to make sure that we answer, because we asked people today to post on what they wanted us to talk about. So we picked 3 topics we're talking about. Farrakhan, because it was a trending topic, we decided to talk about that. But besides the fact that, okay, he might have been running his mouth or they have hate speech, they're not going to allow it online no more, it's deeper than that. Spiritually seeing, religion has to go.
And what I spiritually seen was that what they want that to fade away, like she said, but they also want, they secretly want to push an agenda for everybody to come together. And part of that has to do with certain people on the planet dying off. Part of that has to do with, I think people just trying to get back to the original archetype of humanity. You know what I mean? And with that being said, it's a lot of other underlining things too. But this is a time where they're trying to push a global unity.
That's right. And on Facebook says yes, they are. Churches seem empty when I see them on social media. Nicole Bias says, what is it with people getting out of the church and going back? I don't know about that. I don't know. Most of the people I know, they getting out the churches, they ain't going back. They ain't trying to hear Jesus. They ain't trying to hear God, y'all. They ain't going back. So I don't know what you're talking about, Nicole. But anyway, Adeku says Trump has started to tax the churches. I don't know, Deco, I don't know how true that is because most churches are 501c3 organizations and they can't tax them. They can't tax them, so I don't know about that.
He's probably trying to find a way to
find a way to tax them, but you can't tax a nonprofit organization such as a church, and especially if they're under a 501c3 organization, okay? Okay, Diamonds Forever says people are waking up spiritually and no longer following a controlled religion. Exactly, Diamond, and that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell y'all something.
And it ain't just the churches.
No, and it's happening fast. It's happening, but y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Spirit showed me that every day we got millions of people waking up spiritually. They are running out of the churches like roaches run out of a kitchen being sprayed with goddamn roach spray, okay? They are running out of the churches. So, with saying that, we got to understand that, there's always something behind, the picture that they show you. And the picture that they show you is to make it appear like it's something else. Nah, that's why we got spiritually seeing news, because spiritually we see, okay? Brother, think you want to add to that?
Well, I was gonna say, talk about one of these things. C. Thomas says, the Christians see the masses leaving the church as a great falling away, as the Bible speaks of. This is used to convince them that the Antichrist is about to be revealed. According to them, Barack Obama was the Antichrist. Remember that? As soon as that black man got in office, they were saying Barack Obama was the Antichrist.
So the Antichrist is being revealed. Who's the Antichrist, Brother Thinker?
I don't know.
Who's the Antichrist? All right, so hold on, y'all. The Bible talks about Revelations. Let's get into it a little bit. And Brother Thinker knows more because he's a Christian. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding. So in Revelations, they talk about the end of the world. They talk about Armageddon, right? But if you all that was ex-Christians would read your Bible and knew the Bible, you would hear Jesus talk about the water bearer and the age of Aquarius, right? So you got to go back and read your Bible. But Armageddon is basically the symbolic meaning of the war within. Either you're going to be on a righteous path or unrighteous path, right? That's Armageddon. Now, we're saying that what we got to understand is that there's more to that. There's more to the war within. There's a war within the on this earth right now. There's a spiritual, physical warfare. There's a war between man and weather. There's a war in the cosmos that's going on right now. And see, people are not paying attention. People are not paying attention. There is a war within humankind, within your body that's going on right now that you're not even aware of, and some of you are. So, and we'll get into that in a minute. I want to go to some of the questions. Okay, Candy Rain says the Aborigines, Mexicans have a tribe called the Obatala tribe. They said they are going back to their roots. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Going back to their roots. You see? And you talk about the Aborigines. The Aborigines are over in Australia, goddammit, and they talking about going back to their roots. You hear what I'm saying?
And remember that they got messed over just as bad as the Indians. To me, the only difference is, you don't hardly see Native Americans walking around, but the Aborigines, you remember, when they invaded, when they went over to Australia and invaded them, they were kidnapping the kids and raping them, and they were raping the women and all of that, and trying to bleach that dark skin out because they was dark like Africans.
Yeah. Yeah, they
And
did.
so
They
that's why
had some of them as slaves too.
that's why the Australian people look the way they look now. They don't look like their original self anymore.
Right, they're not pure.
You know, and they were raping them, and they did a lot of horrible things to the people
Over
in
in
Australia.
Australia.
Horrible.
She was saying, I was trying to say the Mexicans. Okay, saying black Mexicans. Oh, okay, okay, all right. Greetings, Zipporah, Catherine. How are you? Okay. Nicole Bias says, for example, like I've been out of church for a minute when I was in one state, and when I move, I end up right back. There must be something missing. Indigenous. Nicole, honestly speaking, this is more to you with that. The reason you end up back there, and if I'm wrong, correct me, because spiritually you're looking for something, and you feel like you're not complete. And what my spirit is showing me is that you pretty much are seeking for the type of, as they say in Christianity, agape love. And with saying that you haven't, I'm looking through your soul right now, you haven't found it. So you thought that you will be able to find it in the church. And I'm seeing spiritually that you didn't find it in the church. I'm seeing that, you know what, they didn't treat you like you were supposed to be treated in the church. And see, the thing is, you're looking in the wrong places for love. You got to look within your soul. Okay, Nicole? That's what I'm seeing. All right, any questions, family? All right, so those who have joined, we're talking about Farrakhan, the real reason why it was shut down, spiritually seeing. We're going to talk about the next topic, which is
why we pray to our ancestors.
Okay, somebody put a comment on Facebook and said, could you talk about why do people worship the dead more than they worship the living? What you think about that, brother?
I just think, without getting into the spiritual aspect of it, I just think that's just human nature. Not to give anybody their props when they're alive, because a lot of people just for lack of a better word, some fucking haters, and they don't know how to appreciate the person.
Come on, you got to get into the spiritual part of it. This is what we do.
No, I'm gonna get to that, but
okay.
They don't know how to appreciate the people that they love when they're alive. So they wait till they pass. Just look at Nipsey. Look at the Nipsey situation. I always gave him his props, and I always, like, as soon as I heard about Nipsey, and I always gave him his props of who he was and how bright he was as a person. So stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Not everybody is going to listen to the man's music and listen to his message and realizing how genius he was. And as far as when we get into the spiritual aspect of it, the reason why people, adore the people that are in a spiritual realm, because they can help them more, than they can in the physical. They can get things done because they're spirit. They can go get things done. You ask your ancestors to get something done, and as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do with them, they're gonna look out for you. They're gonna move mountains, as my wife says.
Let me clear things up. Hermetic on Facebook says, how do you pray to your ancestors? First of all, we don't pray to our ancestors. We pay homage to our ancestors. That means, you know what? We pay homage. We thank them. We talk to them. We let them know that they're with us. Let me tell you something. I love my ancestors, okay? I am an actress for the ancestors, okay? I am the portal that the ancestors talk through. I love my ancestors. And let me explain something to you all. Back to the question that was posed on Facebook. Why do we worship our ancestors more than we worship the living? First of all, if it wasn't for your ancestors, you wouldn't be living. Let me say it again. If it wasn't for your ancestors, you would not be living, okay? You should always pay homage and worship the very thing that came before you and that you came through, okay? Mm-hmm. For one, the living is already known not to live forever, okay? It's from birth to death and death to life. So ancestors, and we should understand that the physical beingness is only here temporary. So why would you worship something that is here temporary? Okay? Mm-hmm. You don't want to worship nothing that's here temporary. We know. And see, in the ancestral realm, they already know. They have wisdom way beyond our imagination. They know things that we don't even know. That's why we talk to them. We pay homage to them. And we pay homage because we thank them for allowing us to come through them to be here physically right now. And we give them offerings and we talk to them. Like I said, I talk to my ancestors. I be in the bathroom, y'all. I be on the toilet. I be talking to my ancestors. Ma, would you tell me what's going on right now? I'm just like I'm talking to y'all. Let me tell you something. And they do come. The physical beings do not know nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all.
And the ancestors they'll let you know what's coming.
That's right.
Things that are coming. They'll show you visions of things. And I don't know. I love my ancestors.
Well, I mean, and the thing about it, when you say that, will you have a problem? And I don't like to use the word dead. Let me explain this to the person. Oh, I know who it was. I forgot his real name. But anyway, I'm going to say this to y'all. Everything has a cycle on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. Nothing. There's a cycle. Your physical body has to leave this earth. So it's not that you really die. You just transform. You transcend. You leave this physical body that's made up of the same things as the earth right here, and it goes back into the earth, and it does what it does. You know what I mean? So with saying that, you have no business worshiping the living, because the living is temporary. Okay, the living is temporary. People who have a problem with that, I have a problem with y'all, because at the end of the day, you know what? Why would you worship the living who comes here for life experiences? Okay. Life experiences. And as I posed that question on Facebook the other day, life is the school and Mother Nature's the teacher. So we come here for many different reasons. Many different reasons. We come here to come back to do many things. We decide we want to come back over and over and over again. Okay? So as far as worshiping the living, who the hell we going to worship? I don't want to worship no goddamn living. Do y'all want to worship the living? Because I don't want to worship the living. The living can't tell me shit.
You might as well worship the Pope if that's the case.
Exactly. Worship the because you got people who have done that. You got people that worship these world leaders, worship these pastors. I ain't worshiping no goddamn mere man. No mere man. You see what I'm saying? You worship. Man, that's the problem now, y'all. My sinuses are draining, right? Alice is kicking my ass again. But anyway, I'm not worshiping no man. Why would you want to worship the living? That's the problem. And that's why we got people walking around here brainwashed and programmed and dumbfounded, don't know where they are, who they are, where they come from. They don't know shit. Real talk. So when we make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, we should worship the living, I ain't worshiping no goddamn living being. I'm not doing it. I know my ancestors have power. I know my ancestors work for me. I know they let me know things when I need to know. I know I don't make no moves without them. You goddamn right I'm paying homage to my ancestors. You know what I mean? All right, you want to touch on that? Any questions, y'all? Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Tonight we're talking about several topics based off of our family on Facebook. They wanted us to talk about Farrakhan, talk about why do we worship the ancestors, worship the dead and not the living. And the last topic is solar flashes.
Solar flashes.
We have any questions? Y'all want to put your input in? Can't worship a human. It's impossible. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Why would you want to worship a human, though?
Yeah. Queen Kashiba Gaylor says, our ancestors are very powerful. Our ancestors walk with us in power and energy.
That's right. That's right. Ancestors ain't no joke, y'all. They walking behind you, under you, on top of you. Let me tell you something. Ancestors are no joke. And see, the experiences that we're experiencing right now, you understand? And some of the information that's in your DNA comes from your ancestors.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Don't get it confused. Comes from your ancestors.
And not to mention, a lot of times, not to mention, even when we those who were slaves, and when we came here, we had to, to be in these systems, and those who were raised up in the spiritual systems, you have to go, you got to go through your ancestors first. You can't go to your spirit, you can't go to a spirit or Orisha or a Loa before you go to your ancestors. And those who forgot those ways, the practice hoodoo and all of that, traditional and real hoodoo, they not only did they use the herbs, they used the ancestors also. Those were the ones that they prayed to go get shit done.
That's right. That's right. All right. So any more questions, y'all? Any more questions? Because someone posted that on Facebook and wanted to know why we worship. And we don't worship. We pay homage to. And really, if we did worship, it's okay. You damn right I worship my mother. She brought me in this goddamn world. You know what I mean? And my father made it possible. So why wouldn't I worship the very thing that allowed me to come through her womb to be who I am today? Shit, you damn right I worship my mother. She could have said, I'm going to get rid of your ass. Okay. What they know say with his finger?
I am inevitable.
I'm inevitable. You know what I mean? Come on now. You damn right I'm worshiping my mother, my grandmother, my grandma. I'm worshiping them. You're damn right.
You got to... C. Thomas says, someone said that we have to be careful calling on our ancestors because not all of them were good people. You want to explain that? Because you talk about that all the time.
Bakume madra, bakume madra, bakume madra. That's bullshit. Bullshit.
Because the spiritual has nothing to do with the physical.
Spiritual has nothing to do with the physical, because when they get into the spiritual, they become energy beings again. Mm-hmm. So that means when they become energy beings again, these beings that become energy beings are damn near perfect beings. They are perfect beings. They are really in tune and intertwined with the energy of the universe. So it's saying that when you have ancestors that were doing stupid shit, excuse my language, y'all, but it is what it is, here on earth, in their physical body, they came back for a life experience. It does not count in their spiritual experience. When you make a decision to come back to this earth, you come back to this earth to live whatever experience that you chose to live.
And a lot of times when you come back here and you get in this body, you don't even remember why you came back. You got to tap into that and find that all over again.
That's right. You got to find out. So we're saying that this is my traditional way. When you have ancestors, for instance, that been on, when they come back in this realm and they come back to the physical body, let's say if they were drug addicts or they were alcoholics or they was murderers or whatever they may be.
And a person and people who say that or give that advice, those are people who really can't see.
Right. And what you got to realize is that you are to use them ancestors. It's hot. Shit. Tell them to turn on the HT. I'm getting sweaty here. Is it my menopause, y'all? I'm getting hot. So when you use those ancestors, you want to use those ancestors for somebody in the physical realm who already been through it. So for instance, you have just say you had an uncle that was an alcoholic and he died. And then you find out your brother's an alcoholic later, right? So what you want to do is you want to call in that uncle. And you want to ask that uncle to pay special attention to your brother and to help him, because he shares the DNA, to help him with his drinking problem. Okay? You can use those ancestors for that. And the reason you can do that is because they experienced it already here on this earth. Mm-hmm. They experienced, so these ancestral spirits are going to try to help and guide the one who is going through that drinking or whatever problems they have, because they understand, because they were here at one time. Okay?
Here's another. She said, thanks for clearing that up. Jaffa Leo says, has John Singleton really crossed to the other side?
John Singleton. I see that he really did. And what I seen spiritually with John Singleton, he wasn't taking care of his health like he was supposed to. That wasn't a fake one, y'all. That was a real one. John Singleton was not taking care of his health. I see that his body was his blood was very sticky. I seen that his heart had a lot of, not just mucus, but I seen a lot of blockage in his heart. He was eating what he wanted to eat. He didn't pay special attention to his health.
But you could tell the last few years when you looked at him.
When you looked at his
you could tell. I could see his body. His body was breaking down.
Okay, Majestic, would you switch from Facebook to Instagram? Majestic, I remember Bobby Hemmett said that crackhead on the corner might have the key to your salvation. And
yeah,
that's true. He ain't never lying.
Bobby Hemmett, boy, he was on some shit, boy. He was right though.
Let me tell y'all something. Do not sleep. But when I was in New York, right? You know, when I was in New York, when I be on the train, see, people don't want to talk to the homeless people. You know what I mean? I would always stop and talk to the homeless people because you don't know. Let me tell y'all something. Understand this and understand this clearly. All that you think you see physical is not physical. Let me say it again. All that you think you see physical is not physical. Sometimes the ancestors will come through these beings and they will communicate with you to give you wisdom. But because you have gotten caught up in soul, you know, in a physical world where, you know, oh, that bum, I don't want to talk to that bum, I don't want to talk. No, I will stop and talk. I won't let him touch me now because you got goddamn derelicts and shit, right? You can't touch me. Stand right there, but we can have a good conversation. I'll buy you some food, I'll give you some money, but I ain't giving you money to drink. But I would listen and talk with these homeless people, and a lot of them had wisdom. And sometimes I was able to tell whether they were real physical beings or if they were spirits. Go ahead.
You know, I say about maybe 20 years ago. No, not 20. Maybe about 18 years ago. I knew this guy. His name is we used to call him Unc, right? And he used to always be at this studio where they cut hair, the barber and stuff. And they used to always just let him hang around. He used to be talking crazy, and everybody just used to laugh at him. But I used to always listen. This was before I was even conscious. I used to always just sit there and listen to him, laugh at him. And I used to say, man, y'all think that motherfucker crazy. That I say, Unc got a lot of sense. And it was funny because we called him Unc. You know, because he was missing like his front teeth. He had like 1 or 2 teeth in his mouth. But he always talked about ancient Kemet. And he said, man, back in the day, I was a pharaoh, and I was slaying them crackers, and he would be like, Unc, man, chill out with that shit, you know what I'm saying? And Unc used to always just talk about ancient Kemet, pharaoh, and being a king, and I had all these women in my concubine. He used to say this shit. And the funny thing is, he used to dress up like a pharaoh. He used to make his gear out of foil and shit, and paint it and mark on it.
But he knew he was a
But
pharaoh.
his name was Unc.
So
that just tells me, like, he did have a connection to Kemet, but we didn't see it because we wasn't conscious.
Y'all wasn't conscious, but that man knew what the hell he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? See, that's why y'all can't sleep. When somebody come up to your car, when you see him at the store begging. And see, another thing y'all need to do. You don't know if it's the ancestors using these people to come to you, because you will be tested. You will be tested. And do not just, to blow them off. Nah, I ain't got no money. No, get away from me. We do that a lot. And that's your test right there. And see, a lot of people are becoming more spiritually aware. Everybody has a natural intuition. Use your natural intuition and try not to just blow them away, because that could be your test. You see? If you go up to a store and you ain't used to seeing no bums, and I don't even like to call them bums, homeless people, you know, out there, and they come to you, that's a test. Real talk. Be very mindful of that, because if you don't, you're going to miss your test.
And you might miss your blessings, because sometimes they beg for money, and it's the ancestors testing your heart.
That's
and
right.
Seeing are you going to do a good deed today? Are you going to look out for those less fortunate than you?
That's right.
So,
that's right. Y'all better be mindful.
And you know, I talk about Legba all the time. You don't know how many times Papa Legba done came to me. And I won't realize it's him until you be like, thank you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I turn around and I be like, what? And then gone about his business. Like, a lot of times, you know, they testing you to see if you're going to be who you claim to be.
That's right. Now, I want to say hi to my sister Magic Moja. Peace and blessings, okay? Now, we up and popping. We got a lot on Facebook. We got a lot on YouTube. This is the first time we're doing Instagram. So we plan on to build up the Instagram, so y'all make sure y'all tune in. But now, I want to go into...
What's your Instagram name for those on...
Instagram name is NICKY Love WUNAM on Instagram. If y'all got Instagram, y'all can catch us on Instagram too. Okay? Y'all can catch us on Instagram too. Now, what we want to do is we have 3 topics. For those who just come in, y'all missing it. Now we're going on to the solar flashes because someone posted on Facebook, could you talk about the solar flashes getting ready to come? First of all, solar flashes already been coming, okay?
Ain't nothing new.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
They just not telling y'all about it.
But let me explain something to y'all. It's been unusually hot, like for the last couple of days. If you all notice that the weather is warming up. So when we speak of solar flashes are basically CMEs, which is coronal mass ejections. The sun is going through a transformation, as I've been telling you all for years. This is nothing new under the sun. The sun is going through a transformation. The universe is going through a transformation. Just not here on Earth are we going through a transformation. But you all have to remember, we are connected to the sun, okay? So when we speak about solar flashes, what's taking place slowly but surely and getting ready to get really crazy with it, and I'm going to tell y'all what Spirit showed me within the next, I would say within the next month between June and August, you all are going to experience how can I explain this? A really powerful vibrational change in your body, okay? Don't say I didn't tell you so. You're going to experience, hello screenwriter, how are you? You're going to experience, it's sort of like something's going to hit you. You understand? Something's going to hit you. And especially if you're out in that sun, okay? We gotta, oops, hold on.
But like, you know, like we said at the beginning of that, like they've been around for years, these solar flashes. Matter of fact, I was reading up on it earlier. This is kind of off subject, but it's still around the same topic. And they were talking about how in 76 to 1980, they spent $50 million just studying the solar flashes and stuff like that. And that's when they were dealing with the solar panels and stuff like that in outer space. And what they found was that not only could you create energy off the sun, but in space it's nonstop, and you don't have to worry about rain and all of that. So what they figured out was they figured out a way to create what they call a I forgot what they call it. I think they call it erect antenna, where they actually have, it's like an antenna on Earth, and they collect all the energy from the sun in space.
That's because the sun has a sun behind the sun, and they call that the toroidal. It's called the toroidal field that's around the sun. So that's how they get that energy.
And in space, they get 8 times more energy in space than they do on Earth. So not only that, they don't have to deal with rain, snow, or anything like that. And then they send it down to Earth. Now, what they're trying to figure out is how to, these major corporations are trying to figure out how to, you know, like these light companies and energy companies want to figure out a way to sell us that energy from space, you know, and, you know, do it all around the globe. Because I'm pretty sure they're doing that with other military bases and stuff like that already.
But on the flip side of what Brother ADINKRA just said, solar flashes. The sun is going to send us light codes, okay? And these light codes actually are going to hit your DNA. And it's what I've been saying for years, y'all. Y'all know I've been telling y'all about the reactivation of the DNA. I told you all we are transforming at a cellular level. We are evolving as beings, okay? So when the sun sends light codes to us, we become more lighter. We become consciously enlightened, okay? So what we got to understand, these solar flashes are hitting the whole of humanity. So this is why you see the masses of us waking up, becoming consciously aware. And as
those downloads,
right, and getting those downloads into your DNA and into your cells. So pretty much it's going to be massive. Within the next month, between June and between August, do expect to feel a different way, to think a different way, to be more, how can I put it, enlightened, okay? Enlightened, because these are what these solar flashes are about. Because remember, you're going through transmutation, so the body has to change, everything has to change. The sun is changing, as I told you before. The universe is transforming. I told you guys this years ago. Actually, if you go back 5 years ago, I was telling everybody this and they wasn't listening. But now they're listening because more of it is being said. I told you all the DNA was reactivating. And as it reactivates, you will become more of a spiritual being. Now, your body will become less physical and more crystallized. And I'm not going to say totally overnight, okay? But you will feel, you'll feel more crystallized, more spiritual, okay? More lighter, okay? Your mind will think different. And this is happening for the masses. And what's going to happen is when we all become this way, we'll all be on the same energy vibration. We'll all be on the same energy vibration. Like we were saying earlier, they're coming out of the churches. People are becoming more spiritual and vibrating on higher frequencies. And all of this has a lot to do with the sun sending its, light codes to the physical human body. Okay? So you too can go through your transmutation. So this is what's taken. Any questions, family?
Michelle Laurent says, what does it mean when you hear like a whistle sound in your ear?
Michelle Laurent, I think somebody asked me, or we was talking about this at a conference call the other night. When you hear that whistling, you better pay attention to what the universe is trying to tell you. Because these higher beings are communicating with us, okay, through a ringing or whistling in your ear, okay? And how you know, what you do is, to see if it's them, ask them, if this is you, ring in my left ear. Ring in my left ear or my right ear, whatever you choose to do. And they will let you know. But there is, again, a major transformation, and it's just not earthly. It's universally. It's galaxy-wise. It's planet-wise, okay? So what's taking place is that ringing has a lot to do with you vibrating on a frequency where now you're really interconnected with the planets and the universe, where you're going to be getting more and more signs. You're going to be open to more information. You're going to find out things that you never knew, because it's all going to come out. It's all going to come out with this new energy that's being sent to us from the sun.
And that's what kind of like in the last Avenger movie, Thanos was kind of touching on too. Like, we're going to go through this change whether you like it or not, throughout, not just on Earth, but throughout the universe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be affected by this. Everybody's going to be affected by this.
That's right.
On every aspect, from here, Saturn, and beyond this solar system. Everybody's going to be affected. That's why he touched everybody.
And nothing you can do about it. Now, hold on. Frenchie says, Facebook says, I was out in the sun the other day and felt my vibration super high. I could literally feel the energy around me. See what I'm saying? And see, let me tell y'all something. Physical beings, humankind, okay? Understand me and understand me clearly. Do not ignore it. Do not ignore it. And along with this energy of being transformed and evolving as spiritual beings, what you must understand is that you also got to change your mindset, okay? Change your mindset, because what's going to happen, you're going to get more of what you don't want if you don't. So if you're a person that thinks negative, speaks negative, talks negative, you're going to get more of that. If you're a person that is embracing this energy, wants to see a change in the world, wants love to come amongst everybody, then you're going to see more of that.
And if you're a person that lie a lot of your lies are going to start coming true. So you be careful.
All right. So we're saying that y'all do.
It's real talk.
Embrace it. Now, what I want many of you to do, especially we got Facebook, Instagram, and we got YouTube. Take your behinds outside, okay? And I want you to go outside, and I want you to throw your hands up to Ra and embrace that energy and say, enlighten me, goddammit. Come on, Ra, enlighten me. Tell Ra to send them, light codes down into your DNA. You understand? Go out. When you see that sun, go out there and open up your arms and let it just shine down on you. Go ahead, brother.
Queen Kashiba Gaylord says, I felt the blow from the ancestors in my ear. And Xavier France says, how does he unlock the healer in him?
You ain't got to unlock the healer in you. What you do is go out into that sun and you ask the sun to unlock the healer in you. Go to your ancestors and ask your ancestors to guide your path and unlock the healer in you. Tell them to give you the answers that you seek. Don't go to no man. Don't ask us. Go within. Go to your ancestors who are in the other realms, who are vibrating on a higher frequency, and they will give you the answers. Hermetic King says, what about when you see little specks of light moving around you? You know, I see that a lot. I get a little speck that comes around, and I see the ones around me. That means I am vibrating at a frequency that I just love, y'all. That means I am. You know what I mean? So when you see them lights, you know that you're in tune with the very transformation energy that's taking place. And get ready for more. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Don't say I didn't tell you. So any more questions?
That was it. I don't see. I ain't got them. I don't have any questions on here
Any questions, y'all?
on YouTube.
Any questions? Come on YouTube. Come on Facebook.
That's
come on.
Right.
All right. Majestic Divine says every now and then my body vibrates and I don't even have my cell phone on me. Y'all feel that? You doggone right. Vibrate. Yep. And see, that's crazy because a lot more people are going to be feeling that energy. They're going to be feeling that energy. Your body's going to feel like it's vibrating. You're like, I ain't got no cell phone. I mean, I ain't standing on nothing. That means that you are becoming more lighter. That means your body is crystallizing. That's what it means, Divine. And like I said, y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
We get messages every day. Every day. Visions every day. They're not just communicating when we're conscious. They're even communicating when we're asleep.
That's right.
Giving us messages in our sleep. Even if we take a nap, they giving us messages.
That's right.
I always get messages.
That's right. Now I know who you are, Frenchie. My little mini me. I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. I love you. Anyway, let me just say this, y'all. Magic Mojo said that was happening to me a few years ago. Yeah, because everybody's going through their transformation at different times. And those who are spiritual, okay, who are already spiritual beings, we went through it years ago. That's why I was talking about the same thing 6, 7, 8 years ago. But Ancestors and Spirit and Universe says I still got to continue to talk about it. That froze because of the simple fact that we have new people that's waking up. So we have to continue to talk about this energy because we got new people every day waking up. I see millions of people waking up every day. Okay? I have to slow the visions down sometimes. Candy Rain, come on now. Come on, sis. Don't slow them down. Do not slow them down. They're coming to you for a reason, my sis. And if you got to write them down, write them down. Oh, this is the question I have for you all. Have you all been noticing that your dreams are even more lucid? Like you can feel yourself in different realms. Have y'all been noticing that? They've been really clear and really lucid. Like you skipping from different realm to realm.
See, Thomas says, are headaches part of the awakening? Ever since I started listening to, I don't know, solfeggio frequencies.
Solfeggio frequencies, my head
every day.
You know, well, you got to be careful with that because if it depends on what frequency you listen to. Okay? Usually, I like to tell people to start out with a 428 or 532, frequency. You might want to slow down on the frequency because you might not be there yet. You might not be able to deal with that frequency yet, okay? So I would say, if your head is hurting, kind of change up the frequencies you listen to because some frequencies are not for some people. As a matter of fact, certain people who have, seizures, whether they're grand mal seizures, nocturnal seizures, can't listen to certain frequencies because it sets off their seizures.
Yeah.
Okay? So you be careful with that.
Just like certain people can't play, they can't play. Thank you, Cheryl Pointer. Thanks for the donation. Pure Jim says, to the point where food isn't even wanted anymore, just liquids. And I love to eat, but can't.
Yeah, well, naturally, because of this transmutation that we're going through with the sun sending us these light codes, our body's going to change, so we're not going to require to eat like we used to eat heavy. A lot of us are experiencing that, okay? A lot of us. Okay, so hey, Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here it is, right here. Zipporah says, "Why can't I connect with my ancestors, but at times I feel them around? Because you're not allowing yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowing yourself to. You got to open yourself up to your ancestors, Zipporah or Catherine. You got to open yourself up to your ancestors. You got to embrace them. You got to talk to them. You got, you know what I mean? You can connect with them. Okay, go ahead.
Keith Cinco says, peace and blessings, WUNAM. It's been a long time.
Keith Cinco, peace and blessings. How are you? Okay, Candy says they come too quick. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. What frequency binaural do I need to listen to, sister? Candy, for you, I would recommend a 532 frequency that you listen to. 438 is good. 532, you got a lot of different type of frequencies, but you got to be prepared for these frequencies. You got to be prepared. And the best thing to do, make sure you don't have seizures, though.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not seizure.
They don't do nothing but put me to sleep.
Right. Because he knows I listen to the frequency.
Listen to that shit, I just fall asleep.
Yeah, so make sure you don't have, you don't have, seizures, and put them on before you go to bed. Some of them are mixed with music, but I don't like the one. I like straight frequencies. Then you got planetary frequencies. Let me tell y'all something. There's frequencies that you can listen to from different planets. Mm-hmm. Okay? Which are very powerful too. You got the universal frequencies. I think it's like a 3 frequency, a hertz, a 3 hertz. Mm-hmm. That's very powerful too. But be careful, okay? You got to remember, our brain is electrical. That's why people that have seizures can't listen to them, because it'll set off the electro impulses in the brain, and they start having a seizure.
Demi Jewel says, yes, Jupiter sounds great. She says, Jupiter sounds great.
What you mean Jupiter sounds great? Okay, so now, Michaela says, yes, my dreams have been very lucid. I'm always laying on the sand by the oceans, and I have a lot of plants. My dreams are beautiful. Okay, so you remember, there's babies see their ancestors. Hermetic King, babies are the closest to the ancestors. Mm-hmm. That's why in Africa we pay homage, or not even pay homage, we're very protective over the babies and the elders, because they're the closest to the spiritual realm, and they're the closest to the ancestors. So yes, and that's why we also put protection on them too, and the elders. And in my African culture, we have what we call a cantador. It depends on what island you come from. A cantador, but it's a black and white bead that we put on the baby when the baby's born, so they will not be affected by spirits. Okay.
So yes, that's why the older they get, they give you messages, and they pick up on the shit you trying to sneak around and do, and they'll tell you about it. And then with the kids, of course, they're seeing something when they're just laying there giggling and laughing and looking up at the ceiling, and you don't see anything.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So Michaela says, I just want to eat food and drink water. I don't have any appetite or anything else for tired. Yeah, a lot of people, you're getting like that. You want some fresh food. You want greens. You want fruit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace, Erica Neal. Okay, which frequency do you suggest I listen to? I don't have seizures. My suggestion to anybody who's starting on the path of listening to binaural frequencies or solfeggio frequencies, you want to pretty much start out, I would say, with a 432 hertz. 432 hertz, then you can move your way up or you can move your way down, okay? But 432 hertz is the best one to start out with.
And each different frequency does something. So look into that also.
That's right. Okay? Now,
you don't want to be programmed with something while you sleep, that you don't want to be a part of or something like that too.
Y'all, you can see me yawning. Now, Queen Sheba Gaylord says, I see 444. Queen Sheba, come on now. Come on, you're going to get everybody to start saying, well, I see 777. Okay, did y'all hear about in New York last week? In New York for a month. Okay, those in New York, y'all can attest to it. The number 333 came out 4 weeks straight in a row. And then after 333 came out, 111 came out. 4 weeks in a row, it kept coming out. Pick 333 in New York City last month.
So what was the fallout of that? Because that kept happening, what did they do about it?
Well, okay. So what I heard is that once that number kept coming out 4 weeks straight in a row, 333, and then 111, they shut it down. They told everybody they were not allowed to play those numbers. No one could play 333. No one could play 111. Let me see if our fans and our family could decode that. What do y'all think? Tell me what y'all think. I'm not gonna tell you what I see spiritually. I want to see what y'all think. Because they said it came out 4 weeks, it nonstop, 333, 333, 333. Now, while y'all answering that question and we get people to come on, Gayla, she 444. Remember, I told you 3 is the merging of the body, the mind, the soul. The 4th is the number 4. Okay, you're talking about once that merges, then you're merging with the universal energy. Okay, so that's my spiritual seeing of what these triple numbers mean. Everybody has their own meaning of what triple numbers mean to them, but spiritually seeing, this is what my ancestors gave me.
And for those of you who like to play those numbers, Spirit say that's going to happen in other states. So shoot your shot.
Basically, all right. So what does 100,000 means? I dream that all the time. Hermetic King, what do you mean 100,000? Maybe you're gonna win $100,000. Maybe 100,000 ancestors are gonna come and stand around your family. You see what I'm saying? It depends on how your dreams are and how prophetic your dreams are. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Peace and blessings, young brother. How are you? So are they also deciding who wins the larger jackpots too? Screenwriter 77. So you feel that pretty much they fixed, those numbers were fixed to come out, right? Deborah says, or Catherine says, I see those numbers all the time. Now let me tell y'all what we see spiritually. I don't know what you see, brother, think, but what I see is that was a subliminal message to send out to humanity in New York City to let them know we are going through their awakening. This is where the solar flashes are coming in, or the solar, the coronal mass ingestions coming to intertwine with your body. So what I see is they're giving you a sign that this is getting ready to happen. This is what humanity's going through. This is the change. This is the transformation. This is the one consciousness we're talking about. So that's what I seen with that.
What I seen is they wanted the people to pay attention and learn what those numbers meant. So same thing. Cheryl Pointer says 4 equals foundation.
4 equals universe. So 333, basically, when you start seeing 333, that's the sign from the universe saying, okay, we're getting ready to merge your body, your mind, your soul. And then when you see 444, the universe is intertwining with you. After that happens, the universe is okay saying, now we're going to begin to work with your spirit as one being, body, mind, and soul. And we're going to begin to download information into your DNA. You're going to begin to get secrets of the universe.
And for y'all those of you who don't know, when she reads the numbers, she's going by what spirit is giving her, right, and not what man says these numbers are.
Right. And see, a lot of people will go on Google, and everybody got their meaning. Depends on what you want to believe. I go straight from my ancestors in spirit. I don't want to see what they wrote online. I'm telling you what ancestors showed me what's taking place. Okay? The ancestors were showing love and having fun with lottery. Those are the numbers I see all the time. So, Michaela, you think the ancestors were showing love and having fun with the lottery? Really? Or do you think that's a symbol? It's a message. See, we got to realize, family, as I told you before, see, everything that they do and they show you on the news and on TV, they keep you blindsided from what's really going on behind the scenes. You understand? They got to keep you blindsided because they don't want you to know that humankind is going through a major transformation. Mm-hmm. So in order to keep you focused over here, so you're not paying attention what's happening to you spiritually, physically, and I say spiritually, physically, because it is what it is, you are not going to pay attention to the information that you're getting, like he don't see triple numbers. He hasn't seen them.
I do see him. I do see him.
No, you don't see him like
but she sees him. Like, I'll look at the clock and I'll see the time it is, and it doesn't dawn on me. As soon as I look down, she's like 333, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I seen that. I don't be paying attention, and she gets on me because I don't pay attention to that. What?
How long do you have on YouTube, on Instagram? They only give you a certain amount to do a video. Who the hell they think they are?
Well, you only
18 remaining.
You only got 16 seconds, guys.
Hey, come find us on Facebook. Come find us on YouTube. Facebook, Nikki Love at NICKY. If you want to go on YouTube, go The Nikki Love Show. NICKYLOVE. Find us on YouTube. Because Instagram act like they're going to shut us the hell down.
Ain't no acting. They shut you down.
Who the hell paused it? Who asked y'all to pause anything goddamn thing? What if the ancestors wanted us to give a message? God damn it, always doing something. All right.
Letting you know they ain't playing with nobody. Since they put Farrakhan on watch, all of you niggas. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
All right, well. Now, Kenny Rain says, okay, hold on. Michaela says the ancestors, okay, I already read that. I've been feeling an acceleration getting off cycle shifts.
Jimmy Jewel says, yeah, you got to restart IG. Oh, well, too late now.
Yeah, because we ain't going back up there. You got to restore. Who the hell they think they are?
Restart.
All right, y'all. All right, so, anyway.
Michelle Laurent says she thinks it's a message.
That's what I said. See, Michelle? It's a message. It's a message that caught the attention of New York City. That caught the attention 4 weeks in a row. And then right after that, 111, they're not paying attention because they're so busy caught up in the physical world, they ain't paying attention.
Well, shoot, they live in New York. You can't really, it's hard to be physical. It's like, because you got to, like, it's hard to be like that in New York because you got to survive in New York. All that money you got to pay for rent up there, boy.
Excuse me? Like
$1 million, $1 million, man, to live in the hood.
Cheap.
Hey, $1 million to live in the hood.
I told y'all New York was going underwater in a couple of years anyway. Don't talk about my New York. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, trust me, I guarantee you, down on 42nd Street on the huge billboards, it was probably showing 333, 333, 333, and them folks was looking up at that, and a lot of people had to be saying, what does that mean? What does that mean? You know what I mean? What does it mean? All right. Yeah, Instagram is tripping. That's all good. That's all good. Let Instagram trip. We good. Cute little baby. Cardi B's little daughter is so cute. Look at her.
Oh, yeah. That's her.
She's
Offset, baby.
Yeah. And then, ain't it Cardi B's baby too?
Yeah.
All right, then. So why you say
Offset, baby?
Offset my ass. Oh, okay. Cardi B's baby too. All right. I see repeating numbers daily, and they show what? And the I show respect. Okay, you show. Okay. Come on now, Michaela. Don't be having me say wrong words up here now. I see repeating numbers daily, and I show respect to my ancestors. Okay. That's good. And make sure you do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. 10 more minutes, and we'll take a few questions. 10 more minutes. We getting off of here, y'all. It's Friday night. You know what I mean? We hanging out a little bit late. 10 more minutes.
Michelle Laurent says, I used to be caught up in the physical world. Then I had to stop working to care for my son. And my son is when I laid more attention. Oh, I guess she meant when I paid more attention. So she said she didn't pay attention until, she was, forced to because she had to take care of her son. So she started paying more attention to the spiritual. Sometimes that's the only time we can focus when we don't have all these things going on.
Yeah.
Because we live in fear of losing everything a lot of times, especially in this country and in this, this spiritual plane, this physical plane that we're on. We're so worried about losing everything instead of just living life. She had, me being with my wife, she had to teach me that because I'm like, I'm a workaholic. I gotta get it. I gotta go. I gotta get the money. I gotta get the baby. I can't. What you want me to do? I go. It'd be snowing outside, and she'd be like, "You going to work in this snow?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to work in this snow." And she'd be mad at me because she's like, "You risk your life to go to work," and I just was caught up in like the moment. I gotta go. So a lot of us just get caught up in like the physical. And I realized paying attention that in the midst of that, going and taking care of people, that you're actually losing them in the process. So shout out to my baby for that.
You're damn right, goddamn it. You're goddamn right, because I'm going to tell y'all like this. Man has got you so caught up and thinking that he is the one that provides everything for you, and you're not realizing that nature does, not man. What's that question somebody just put up there?
She just said it's true. She said true. That was me. She was a workaholic.
Take care. Oh boy, I'm coughing. I'm tired, y'all. It's a damn shame, but it is what it is. Take y'all butts outside. Go get them light coals from the sun. Mm-hmm. Go hug the tree.
Take off your shoes and get grounded to
That's
earth.
right. Take off your shoes. Walk on the dirt. Walk on the dirt. Walk on the grass. Walk on the sand. Walk in the water. Okay? When you put the intent on an object from a ritual, is the spirit then attached to the object, like protection?
It could be both. It could be your intent and the spirits around you, your ancestors, or
we can use spirits to do that, or we can use our power to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so some charms or some objects we make for people's house, put in their house, sometimes we put spirits in them, and sometimes we just put our power in them. Okay. Mm-hmm. It depends on what spirit tells us to do.
Yes, yeah, you got to be guided by spirit.
You have to be guided, because sometimes
and it depends on what
something stronger.
What it calls for.
Right.
Because sometimes you got to go to spirit and let them put that ashe on it.
Right. You sit it on a shrine, and a lot of times we like to sit anything we make for a client. We like to sit them on a shrine first, with whatever spirit that we're using for that person. So a lot of times we automatically sit them on a shrine. But sometimes it depends on your power of intent. But my suggestion, unless you are, and I hate to put it this way, but you got to be spiritual. You got to be righteous. Mm-hmm. Nobody that ain't righteous and don't have good intentions for people ain't got no business doing no ritual work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Ain't got no business doing no. I'm going to say it again, because people out here, you understand? They got power, but they utilize it in the wrong way.
And those people are getting... they're getting messed up daily. A lot of people.
And I'll give y'all an example. I had a client that called me yesterday from up north. And, her boyfriend had a bracelet that he had given her. But when he made the bracelet, it was attracting, because he had disagreeable spirits on him. It was attracting that energy to her. And then when I actually sent her a protection bracelet, she told me that everything was at peace, everything was nice, everything was good. She said she took off the bracelet he gave her, and he got mad. And he told her, "Oh, you got your new bracelet now because you're glowing." But wait, y'all. But the thing about it is that's because of my energy. Mm-hmm. You understand? It's just like, it's sort of like this, Michaela. It's just like when you're cooking. When I am not in a good mood to cook, I don't cook, because the food will taste nasty. Mm-hmm. My energy is not into it. I don't put my good energy into it. If I'm in a bad mood, or, which I try not to get into a lot of times unless somebody pisses me off, you know what I mean? But most of the time, if I'm in the mood, and my food will come out delicious. Try it and see. It's the same thing when you're doing your spiritual stuff. You want to always make sure that you put your power of good intention into that. Mm-hmm. If you're going to help somebody, you want to do with the righteous heart, righteous mind, loving what you do.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, we'll create a charm or something like that for an individual, and we do go to spirit, so we go to spirit and let the spirit put their ashe on it. Right. And these persons have an intent that they're not telling us about, or we just not paying attention to, and the spirit will come and break that neck, pop it
right off their goddamn neck.
For instance, like, say if we had a client that wanted to do something illegal, and he wanted us to give him a certain spirit that would protect him from that, our spirit would be like, okay, since they might have missed
it, I'm lying.
Since they straight up lying and won't, because a lot of times we see it, but they don't want to be honest with us. So a lot of times when you're not honest, spirit won't even allow us to help you the right way. That's why we always tell you to tell us everything, because at the end of the day, we're here to help you. We're not here to judge you for what you've done or nothing like that. So a lot of times the spirit will just go and say and pop it, and you like, oh, what's wrong?
That's right.
So keep that in mind too. Brown sugar Sweet Pea says, I drive for Uber. A majority of my customers are conscious. And Brown Sugar says that they always enlighten them on the ancestors.
That's a good thing.
That's good. Meeting people in.
That means our ancestors are working overtime.
And they probably sending you conscious people.
They're sending you people that's consciously aware. I don't like to say conscious people.
Yeah, because I don't even like that. They done made that a dirty word.
Exactly. Conscious aware.
They done turned that into a, like, if you look on YouTube and you look what's going on YouTube, you think a conscious person is somebody that's trying to pimp the people.
Pimp the people, y'all. All right, I had to wet my mouth with some ice because it's getting hot in here. Now, Hermetic King, did you one day you guys talk about gems? What do you mean gems? Like stones and stuff like that?
We don't really deal with gems.
I mean, we're not namaste kind of people where no, I'm just kidding, y'all. We're African traditional healers, okay?
And we don't, a lot of that stuff, I mean, it's cool, because stones have power and stuff like that. But the way I look at a lot of that stuff is, I don't want, it's commercialized, but some of it, like, a lot of these people, most people who deal with stones and stuff like that, they coming from a Wiccan perspective.
Although, excuse me, y'all, although stones can be powerful depending on what your intent is.
Yeah.
But not more powerful than our spirits. Not more powerful than, how can I put this? Than some herbal plants, okay? Mm-hmm. That got some magic properties to it, okay?
Stones are good for just communication and talking to, because they've been here for thousands of years or millions of years, and like those stones are good for that. Like you can really learn a lot from a stone. If you're a type of person that can tap in and talk to a stone, you'll learn a lot from, just like you would from a tree. For those of y'all that can hear or pick up stuff, try going outside barefooted and just putting your hands on the tree and talking to the tree and communicating with the tree. You'll be amazed.
Stones, some stones I do like though. Like I like shungite. Shungite is a powerful stone that can purify your water. I like that. Okay, some stones have some good benefits to it, more than just protection. Because a lot of times they say, "Oh, wear this stone for protection." Nah, when you're a real traditional healer, you understand that some people could break through that stone and break through your goddamn body.
You're damn right.
You got me? So a stone ain't gonna protect you from the spirit or the wrath of a spirit that somebody can put on you. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason we don't deal with the stones, because I mean, as real traditional African traditional healers, we use a lot of spirits. Or whether we deal with, we got a lot of people that deal with hoodoo, palo, whatever. Most of us deal with spirits.
And somebody could put energy. Somebody could put her spirit on the stone.
That's right. Like, I got a spirit I can attach to that stone.
Yep. You'd be like, ever since I got this stone, I've been having bad luck.
Yeah.
Like,
you see what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful with that. But I mean, some stones are good and they have a lot of different benefits to them. I know some of them can be used for healing, but you have to infuse your stones with power. Mm-hmm. You gotta give it universal power. You gotta get power from the sun. You know what I mean? Maybe leave it outside, bury it in the dirt. You want to infuse your stones with the elemental powers, whether it's fire, water, air, whatever. Infuse them with power, because they can be used for different healing aspects of your body. So some stones are good. I'm not gonna say they're all bad, but as far as protection wise, I don't think stones can protect you.
And C. Thomas says, "You mean this black tourmaline ain't protecting me? I thought it would."
Yeah, well.
Laugh out loud. Brown Sugar Sweet Peach says, "I have a crystal pendant. It works for me. I cleanse mine."
What can you do with that crystal pendant? Tell her what you could do with that crystal pendant.
I mean, it protects you from what other people's. Like crystals are good for protecting from people's energy, but if they spiritual, they could put concentration into that pendulum without even touching it. I could stare at your pendulum and put energy into it just by looking at it, and make it affect you in the opposite way. or a way that's uncomfortable for you, and you'll be like, why am I feeling like this when I come around this person? Like, it's just a lot of things that you could do because we can project energy with our mind. A lot of people, some people are really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are good at that. You can practice making people do certain things with their mind if you got a strong intent.
That crystal can't stop a spirit. I can send a spirit to take that crystal off your neck while you're
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah.
Real talk. So
You can send.
and
She
you
can.
know,
I've seen her send spirits to take stuff out of people's house.
yeah, you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, it can probably protect you from maybe accidents, maybe you know what I mean. Even then, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay.
And then plus, if people know you just wear stones, they can send a spirit, to break that stone.
That's
Because
right.
it's spirits that are over stones. You gotta real it's
That's
spirits that
right.
are over stones, it's spirits that are over the earth, the
Over
actual
water,
earth,
over
over
the
water,
trees.
fire, trees.
That's
So
right.
they could send a spirit that's over all the stones and break your stone in half.
That's right. Yep. I only use mine for the. Okay. They really helped me. Erica Nell, that's good to hear. Thank you for promoting that for us. You know what? At the end of the day, family, again, that's not to say that you can't use the stones to do other things. And they're good to have because it's good to have elements, period. Whether it's rocks, stones, or whatever from the earth. You want fire, you want water, you want all the elements surrounding you.
And
Okay?
one more thing, a lot of people like I'm not downing those who use stones because I think stones are good for healing and things like that, and also grounding yourself.
That's a lower level. Let's put it this way. That's a lower level of magic.
Yeah.
A stone can't heal you like a herb can heal you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A stone can't heal you like a natural herb from the earth can heal you.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I was about to say something.
Not that they're not good, whatever, whatever.
I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. My supervisor was harassing me at work. After I got my necklace, she stopped. Are the seals of Moses good?
Ask her. She the Christian.
Yeah, right. Right. He used to go to church. I never went to church. He used to go to church.
I did go to church.
And now, let me just say this. The seals of Moses. I've seen those seals before. And those seals are not good. They'll be good if you put your power into them. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get the seals of Moses, you put your power into them. There's a saying in Africa that the shrine is in you. You are the one to put the power behind anything you do, even behind the spirits that you call upon. If you don't feed the spirits, if you don't call them, they won't come. Mm-hmm. So really it is you that allows these spirits or empower these spirits to be who they are. Okay?
Demi Jewel says, what does the seals of Solomon mean?
They got different ones.
I don't really get into that, but what I do know is Solomon practiced a form of spiritual work. Mm-hmm. Some call it witchcraft, some call it magic, but he practiced a form of some kind of ritual work and stuff like that. He did a lot of rituals. Solomon did a lot of rituals, and so according to the Bible. And so what I see a lot of times though, people they use these angel seals and these things that's dealing with angels, and especially with black people, they'll come to us and they'll be like, ever since I've been using this, all these bad things been happening to me. And a lot of times I feel like that's because that's not our culture, for one, and number two, that a lot of people that we deal with that deal with angels and stuff like that, they don't realize these angels in the Bible are actually demons. And so I had a case where a guy, he had spirits in his house and he was using the Bible. He was devout Christian and Jesus this, Jesus that, and he couldn't get these spirits off of his ass to save his life, because his wife went to somebody that practiced Santeria, and they threw some work on him, and he couldn't get these spirits out of his house. And I had to go, get these spirits out of his house. And I told him, first of all, you gotta take that picture down to Jesus. You gotta get this Bible out of here, get all this shit out of here, because I'm finna do this work. And once I did that, I got all the spirits out, and I did what, I called the spirits and did what I had to do, and he hasn't had a problem since. But he was trying to get him out with the Bible and this and that, and it just didn't work. You can't, like my wife always says, you gotta pick a side. You can't choose to fight it with this and choose to fight it with that. You gotta pick one or the other, because a lot of times you don't realize, even in the Bible, like even just reading scriptures from the Bible, if I read a certain scripture of the Bible, I could curse you with that scripture. So a lot of times these Bibles and stuff, they're used for evil intent.
But it's like this. It's not so much the scripture,
It's
okay?
the person.
It's the person who has the power in their tongue, okay? Who has the power of their tongue. It depends on how powerful that person is. Because I can get somebody to read that same scripture and it ain't going to work. But it depends on the person. You know, in the Bible, it said death and life is in the power of the tongue. That's an African proverb. So it depends on the person, how much power and inyama or ashe or energy they carry with their soul. You see what I'm saying? So everybody can't do that. Everybody can't read the scripture in the Bible and curse you because they ain't got the power to do it.
Mm-hmm. But you gotta watch them. You better watch some of the preachers, because I see them, boy, they had their whole church going. Like I told you that time I spoke of this before, when I seen the preacher going down the line, he was spitting water in his congregation's mouth. And what I seen was he was putting a controlling spell on them, on his congregation, so they won't leave and he could drain them of money. And they all were going for it.
Boy, he needed one sister. That's all he needed. One sister to say, "What the hell you think you doing?"
And it was a black dude. He was like, he looked like he was kind of like, I don't know about this shit, but I guess since his woman got down there, he just went ahead and let the man spit in his
You
mouth.
know, y'all remember when they used to have Prophet Jordan on, right? Remember the one that Run DMC used to be on the show on BT? I actually went to see him in person. You know that man wouldn't even look me in my eye because he knew that I could see through his soul, and he had a gift to see. But he was ripping the people off. God damn it, he was ripping them off. And a friend of mine invited me to go see him, and I went to see him. And I said to him, I got one of your letters in the mail. That man looked at me and shook his head and then walked away from me because he knew who the hell I was. And the thing about it, he knew that I knew he was doing the people wrong. He wouldn't even talk to me after that, y'all. For real. He knew. That's what I'm talking about. Let me find a goddamn preacher that tried to do that to my sisters and then brainwashing them. Boy, I will curse him a new ass. I will curse him inside out, upside down. You think you hypnotizing somebody? And a lot of the sisters have this power, but they should be so caught up in, oh, well, the preacher said, the pastor said, the preacher, yeah, the preacher fucking, excuse my language, mesmerizing your ass, you know what I mean? What?
He asked me, was it this person? I don't want to say that name.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he went by Mania Jordan, but it was something Jordan on BT. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I didn't want to say the man's name,
man. Yeah, I remember that. That's right, I'm saying it. Because at the end of the day, he knew he was goddamn wrong. What's the difference between angels and orishas and ancestors? Oh, goddamn. Come on, Catherine, man. I'm trying to get up off of here. Okay, angels are something that was created. It's going to be our last question. Created by Christians. Okay? Ancestors were here before. I don't know about no angels. I ain't seen no angels. I know I see my ancestors, okay? I know when I do ancestral readings, I can see your ancestors and communicate with them. So I don't know about that. And who else did you ask? Orishas. Orishas. Okay. These spiritual gods, you know, as they call them in Africa, gods, or these Orishas are spirit forms that have been on this earth for a very long time, okay? Orishas are mainly deities or gods over different aspects of the earth. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the difference too. And the culture differences in Africa, they call them gods, and people that base these African spiritual systems, they don't refer to them as gods. They refer to them as different aspects of God, or different or helpers of God, or stuff like that. You know, they don't refer to them as that. So like even in Haiti, they don't say that they don't call them deities. They don't even call the Loas deities. They just say that they're Loas, or, you know, meaning the law or something like that. They have this over nature, this part, their control of this part of nature or whatever. But they don't refer to them. But the African way is to call them gods, because that's what they really are. But, you know, Haitian people don't see them as that.
But see, in many different tribes, They have many different gods. And the thing about it is that you have many, many, many gods. You got gods of the forest. You got gods of the water. You got gods of the goddesses of the water. Goddess of the water. You got gods of the sun. You got gods of the cemetery. You got gods of the of the shrines. There's so many different gods. You know what I mean? You got certain gods or deities or spirits that deal with certain spirits. Like, I have dwarf spirits. They call them Mimosha. And the dwarf spirits do different things. I could use agreeables or disagreeable. Then I have a spirit that gets rid of demons. It's an African spirit. That spirit is Suzuki and Bamba. That spirit will get rid of, but you can't call them because they're going to work for you. But that spirit will get rid of demons, okay? So in Africa, there is many. And each tribe has their own set of gods or gods. In Yoruba, they call them Orisa. They all have different aspects to them. You understand? I got a spirit that actually, I have to go into the forest and I have to give an offering to this spirit to do business for me, okay? So this spirit right here is a very powerful spirit. All she does is govern the forest, okay?
With that being said.
Thank you. Stay blessed up. I don't like using the word, but I don't know no other. Okay. Well, I don't get into the semantics of, saying blessed or whatever. I don't care what they say. I don't give a goddamn. They say, well, you shouldn't say the word blessed. Y'all can kiss my natural black ass. Because if I want to say blessed, I'm going to say blessed. We live in a goddamn America and we have a language that we was taught. And we going to use the words. Y'all know what the hell we mean. So do not act like you don't. So don't even worry about it, Catherine. You just say blessed up. It is what the hell it is. Okay? So, only thing I don't say though is I don't pray to my ancestors. I communicate with them. I pay homage to them. And yes, I do worship them. I worship the spirit realm they're on. You know what I'm saying? So, there you have it. Hermetic King, elaborate on offerings. Hermetic King, that's another show. That's another show. You ain't keeping us on here a little bit longer. And as a matter of fact, we can share some of that with you all. Some of the things... Some of these spirits that we deal with, we cannot share with you. Because some of these spirits can be very, very dangerous. So we can share the common ones where everybody pretty much knows. But we can't share some of them with you. Because if you don't know what you're doing. I had a friend, y'all. And I told her ass, don't be doing this and doing that. Don't be sacrificing chickens without me around. And she did. She was up there. Went to the chicken farm, got a chicken, and called on the spirit, and the spirit was dragging her ass down. She had to call me, and I had to say, release her. I'm on the radio show, and she said, oh my God, he wants me to eat the blood. I said, well, eat the goddamn blood. I said, and release her. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to call over the phone, you understand, to get this spirit to release her, but she didn't really know what she was doing. She can't do that. And she's very powerful. The thing about it is she's the type of person that the spirits like to mount. So she has to have someone in her presence in case that takes place because she has that power. So if I am not there, the spirit will try to take her. And she was doing too goddamn much. So with saying that, I was like, don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. You know what I mean? You got to be careful with certain spirits you deal with because if you don't know how to deal with them, they're going to deal with you. Yep. They're going to deal with you. And Hermetic King, that's something we'll talk about later. What I do like to recommend is do give offerings to your ancestors.
Tiger Divine says, was he young? You want to answer that?
Was he what?
Yeah, was he young? The preacher you was talking about.
Tiger Divine, go look him up. Prophet Jordan. He used to come on BET. You know who I'm talking about. Because Run DMC, Run used to be on the show with him sometime. You know who the hell I'm talking about. You're damn right. I didn't like what he was doing. And the saddest thing is the brother could have used it in a way, and that's not to say he didn't need to make money. But I've seen a lot of people, my spirit reads very well. I've seen a lot of lost souls in there. A lot of lost souls that were spending money that they did not have. And that's what I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that these people... You say,
yeah, he know him.
Okay, well then tell him I said hi, Tiger Divine. Tell him I said hi. So all I'm saying is that I didn't like the fact that my spirit being so powerful, empathic, I can feel the energy of these people that were looking for some way or some hope in this man, and they was paying $500 to be in a goddamn VIP section. That was wrong. That was wrong by the eyes of the ancestors. Now you go tell them that, Tiger Divine. Tell them I said that. Because at the end of the day, them people I could see, I'm sitting there, and these people didn't have money. You charging them $500 to be in a VIP section for a gift? Come on, my brother, you wrong for that. Ancestors will deal with you for that. Ancestors will deal with you. That's why he ain't on BET no more. It is what it is.
On that note, we love you, family.
That's right.
Those of you who are new, subscribe to the Nikki Love Show and hit the subscribe button and all of that good stuff. Check us out.
All right, family. Peace and blessings. We'll try to come back on here Sunday. Blessings.